Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima kathira. This is part two of the benefits and rewards of the Salat al Fatihi, also known as the Yaqut al Farida. This is part one of the Salawat series, going into the meanings and the definitions of some of the salawat that's been received by Shaykh Ahmad Tijani from the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The first one, Salat al Fatihi, even though he did not receive it directly from the Prophet Sallallahu, he knew of Salat al Fatihi. Shaykh Ahmad Tijani knew of Salat al Fatihi before coming together with the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam recommended Salat al Fatihi to Shaykh Ahmad Tijani and explained many of its benefits and also prescribed it as part of the wird that will be given from the Prophet ﷺ to Shaykh Ahmad Tijani. We continue reading from the Jawahir Mani of Sidi Ali Harazim when he has asked Shaykh Ahmad Tijani regarding the Salat al Fatihi. As for Salat al Fatihi, I, Sidi Ali Harazim, asked him, Shaykh Ahmad Tijani, no, as Shaykh Ahmad Tijani here is asking the Prophet ﷺ about Salat al Fatihi. And he responded first. He gave two responses. First, Shaykh Ahmad Tijani is asking the Prophet ﷺ about Salat al Fatihi, and he responded that it is worth 600,000 of any other Salat ala Nabi. Salat al Fatihi is worth 600,000 of any other Salat ala Nabi. So I asked him, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, is each one of these 600,000 prayers upon the Prophet Sallallahu worth the reward of one who sends a single prayer upon the Prophet Sallallahu? And he, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, replied, in the meaning, yes, he will receive for every recitation of Salat al Fatihi the reward of one who recites 600,000 of any other Salat ala Nabi. Then I asked him, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, is one bird created from it according to the hadith that one Salat ala Nabi, one bird is created for every prayer upon the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And he's explaining about a hadith in which it's reported that whoever sends a prayer upon the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah creates a bird. And that bird is created, has 70,000 wings. So he's asking him, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, about this hadith, in which is one bird created from this Salat al Fatihi? Because he's saying that one Salat al Fatihi is worth 600,000 of any other salawat. So he's asking about the bird that's created from the Salat al Nabi. Is it just one or will it be 600,000? And the bird glorifies Allah. And it glorifies Allah, and all of the reward goes to the one who recited the prayer upon the Prophet Sallallahu. And he, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, said, indeed, for every recitation, 600,000 birds will be created with that description. Meaning that whenever one person says one Salat al Fatihi, it is worth 600,000 Salat al Nabi, any other Salat al Nabi. And whenever anyone says a Salat al Fatihi, because it's worth 600,000 Salat al Nabi, there will be 600,000 birds that will be created. Each bird has 70,000 wings, and that bird praises Allah in 70,000 languages. And the rewards of that created bird and his glorification will go towards the person who said the Salat al Nabi. So he asked the Prophet ﷺ, will the Salat al Fatihi be worth one of these birds or 600,000? And the Prophet ﷺ answered him, 600,000 of those birds will be created. Then he ﷺ said, Shaykh Ahmad Tijani asked the Prophet ﷺ about the authenticity of another hadith in which one prayer on the Prophet ﷺ is worth the reward of 400 jihads, 400 battles, and each battle is worth 400 pilgrimage. There's a hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ is reported to have said that one prayer upon the Prophet ﷺ is worth 400 battles in the way of Allah. the reward. And each battle is worth 400 pilgrimages, hajjs. And he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, replied, it is indeed authentic, that this report is authentic. So he asked him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about the number of battles. Would one recitation of Salat al Fatihi be rewarded in the equivalent of 400 battles, or would 400 battles be rewarded for each of the 600,000 prayers upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Salat al Fatihi equals? And he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, says, indeed, Salat al Fatihi is worth 600,000 prayers upon the Prophet, and each of those 600,000 prayers upon the Prophet is worth 400 battles. Then he said, after this, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Shagam Tijani is telling Sidi Ali Harazim about his conversation that he's having with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding the Salat al Fatihi. And he reported the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling him, whoever sins upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, meaning Salat al Fatihi, once, he will receive the reward for every prayer upon the Prophet that has been taking place in the universe from every man, jinn, and angel 600,000 times over, from the beginning of the universe until the time that its reciter had uttered it. In other words, it is if he sent prayers upon the Prophet ﷺ 600,000 times for the prayer upon the Prophet ﷺ of everyone who sends prayer upon him, whether they are angel, jinn, or human being. And each one of those prayers upon the Prophet ﷺ is worth 40 battles. And for each one of them, he will receive a wife from the Hurain of paradise. He will receive 10 good deeds, 10 evil deeds will be erased, and he will be raised 10 maqams, 10 degrees. And also, for each one of those prayers upon the Prophet ﷺ, Allah and his angels will send 10 prayers upon him. So he's explaining more that the Salat al Fatihi is worth 600,000 Salat al Nabi. But he goes in even deeper and says that one Salat al Fatihi is worth 600,000 times all of the Salawat that's been said by man and jinn and the angels from the beginning of the universe until the time that the reciter says it. And the Sheikh said, when I understood all of that in my heart, I knew that no worship could match even one recitation of this prayer upon the Prophet, referring to Salat al Fatihi. So how about a person who recites it many times over? What a reward he will have with Allah if he attains all of that with one recitation of it. So the Sheikh is giving some examples here that after he understood what was said to him, he understood that there's nothing that can equate to this Salat al Nabi due to it being multiplied 600,000 times everything that's been ever sent upon the Prophet ﷺ by any man, jinn, or angel since the time of the beginning of the world until the time it is recited by the person saying it. And the Sheikh is explaining that the Prophet ﷺ informed me that the meaning Salat al-Fatihi was not written by Sayyidina Muhammad Bakri. Even though it was shown to him first, it was not created by him. Rather, he turned towards Allah for a long time, asking him to bless him, show him which prayer upon the Prophet ﷺ includes the rewards and secrets of all the other prayers upon the Prophet ﷺ. And he sought that from Allah for a long time. Then Allah answered his supplication, and an angel came with this prayer upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, written on a page of light, referring to the Salat al Fatihi. Then Shaykh Ahmad Tijani said, so when I understood this prayer upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I found that the worship of all jinn, human being, and angels could not equal its weight. And he said, Shaykh Ahmad Tijani, that he, the Prophet ﷺ, used to inform me about the reward of the greatest name, the Ismail Azam. Inshallah, we will have a video in which we will explain the rewards and benefit reported from Shaykh Ahmad Tijani regarding the Ismail Azam and you will hear things that has never been heard before regarding the greatest name of Allah. So Shagam Tijani saying the Prophet Islam used to inform him about the rewards of reciting the greatest name. So I asked him, is the Salat al Fatihi greater than it? Because he's hearing how Salat al Fatihi is so great. He asked him, is the reward higher than the Ism al Azam, the greatest name? And he Sallallahu said no. Rather, the Ism al Azam is greater, and no worship can equal it. And he, radiallahu anhu, said, one recitation of the Ism al Azam is worth 6,000 recitation of Salat al Fatihi. And one recitation of Salat al Fatihi equals 6,000 of all of their remembrances, be they glorifications, petitions for forgiveness, istighfar, and every other supplication in the universe, small or large, as was mentioned. And the Sheikh said, for the person who recites Salat al Fatihi once, 6,000 of the invocations of every animate and inanimate being, meaning everything that has form or doesn't has form, they all praise Allah. And the Salat al Fatihi, the person who says it, receives 6,000 times the reward of each praise done by every being in the universe, whether it's animate or inanimate. The invocations of each inanimate being are invoking the name that has been manifested in it, since every atom in existence has a particular name manifested in it. As for animate beings, their invocations are varied. This is the benefit of Salatul Fatih that the Master of Existence Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam informed our Sheikh Ahmed Tijani regarding its reward. Then he said, as for the weight of Salatul Fatih, for those who are engrossed in it, meaning that they recite Salatul Fatih at least 10,000 times daily, one recitation of it equals 120 years of worship. There are some people who recite many thousands of Salatul Fatih every day. It's reported that Shaykh Ibrahim Nias and many of the Khulafa recited 12,000 every day. And there are some that recite other numbers. We will continue with explaining the rewards and benefits of Salatul Fatih in the next video. We will also give a commentary regarding the meaning in the tafsir, the explanation regarding the meanings of the Salat al-Fatihi. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق الناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.